everyone, it is V again with your weekly episode of Daily Life of a Neurodivergent. So last week we spoke about triggers, and today I'm going to go over another big trigger that can, cause us to go into full-on meltdown. And again, the reason why I'm going over these triggers are not because we expect everyone to understand these triggers, because at the end of the day, which I'll go over this in other episodes, but we are big people pleasers and we do not know how to set boundaries. And these triggers are because of our brain, the way our brain processes things differently. So it's not by choice, it's just unfortunately how our brain works. So again, if you're a neurodivergent and you have these triggers, just let your partner know, let your friends know, so that way there's no misunderstandings. And like I said in the last week's episode, communication comes a long way. So if you could communicate beforehand that you tend to have certain triggers, I'm sure that it will help both your loved one, your friends, and you avoid any misunderstandings. So another trigger, last week we went over the hyperfocus. Another trigger that us neurodivergents tend to have is that we could be very sensitive to loud noises, to people chewing loudly, people talking loudly, or in my case, for example, lights with loud sounds. So right now, actually in my bathroom, every time I turn on the main light, luckily there are 2 lights in my bathroom, but every time I'm rushing and I accidentally turn on the light, it turns on the loud fan in my bathroom and I just get so irritated. So, but again, luckily my bathroom has 2 lights, so I just always use the other light. But in the beginning, I did have a few meltdowns, unfortunately, but again, there are ways to work around it. So loud noises, for example, clubs that play very loud music or bars that may play very loud music. A way I prepare for this, just in case, I also, again, people pleasing. So I don't want my friends, like if they already had a plan, everyone to go to a place and they play loud music. A way you could avoid this, or avoid you having a meltdown or just having, a terrible time, are earplugs. So I have 3 pairs of earplugs. I am not lying, because also I do love going to festivals, but because I'm sensitive to loud noise and like at bars, at clubs, so I always have a pair of, earplugs in my purse, because I already know I'm sensitive to these things. So I highly suggest buying some earplugs, because again, if your friends, if they all love a place and and like if they all agree to it, you don't want to change their plans just because of your personal preference. But buy some earplugs and I promise you will have a great time. They don't completely you still will be able to hear your friends and have a great time, and that loud noise sensitivity won't affect you. So that is the way I personally work around it. And because, like, again, I know that is one of my triggers. So so I'm looking forward to discussing another trigger with you guys. There are multiple triggers. These are just these are some of the triggers that I personally have, and now with experience, how I've been able to find different ways to overcome these triggers. So again, if you guys have any questions, any comments, please let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to reading everything, and I really do hope that these weekly episodes are helping you guys. So stay tuned for the next one.